Got it.
Greetings from Southern Yankee Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today we're going to be tinkering. It's been well over a year since I last really touched this. I think I fired it up once, but haven't really moved it or worked on it at all. But today we're going to be dealing with our 1987 Suzuki Samurai. I will go through here in a little bit and go over some of the modifications and stuff that has been done to it, but right now I want to get it running and get it warming up, because I want to cycle the oil so that we can do an oil change on it. I can't remember if I've even done an oil change on it since I've owned it. I know, bad, but it's a play vehicle. What can I say? So stick around, let's see what kind of a mess we can get into. Because she hasn't ran in over a year, we're going to go ahead and seafoam her so you can maybe get some of the crud out of the engine. I'm sure the gas is great too. I don't remember when I put fuel in it last. About that much. Rest of it will pour in the tank. All right, let's see what kind of a mess we can get into here. Got. Well, definitely seen worse oil. I don't think I've seen any of that liquidy though. Or for that matter, that much. Holy cow. It's moving. There we go. didn't see it, but just off camera, I went ahead and oiled the filter and cleaned the place where the oil filter goes, the mount. All right, let's see if we can make a mess. Yep, we made a mess. All right, the book says 4.4 quarts. We just put 4 full ones in. Yeah, a little moisture in there, not bad. We're gonna go ahead and fire up, get the oil back up and see what happens. Alright, just real quick, what I was doing there, and part of this, I was putting this bolt on with this bracket. What this does is it holds this shackle in place when I'm going down the road, so that if I hit a bump or something, it doesn't swing out and get as wobbly. This is what they call a trick shackle, so when the suspension droops, this shackle is going to open up. Well, with this bracket here onto my custom-made bumper, it can't droop out. This will still move forward and backwards, but this won't drop out, and that's the goal of that. Obviously, front bumper, homemade winch mount, running a little 4,500 pound winch on there. The steering is actually from 2 different Suzuki Samurais. So it's using a stock or semi-stock tie rod, going, it was shortened a little, going to a semi-stock drag link that I modified with an additional tie rod to get adjustability in here, because this is actually the original mounting point for the steering. But if you look, it goes right into the leaf spring in this configuration. So I went ahead and did a set of Mercedes steering arms that are bolted to the back of the calipers. So the brake calipers and the steering are tied together, and you can see over there how that's set up. With that, some people have said, oh, your Ackerman angle is off. Maybe my Ackerman angle is off, but I know at 70 miles an hour, I hit a bump, I get no bump steer. I've never had bump steer with this in this setup. It goes down the road straight, handles fine for a lifted vehicle that can blow around behind everything. The engine is a 1.6 liter from a Suzuki Sidekick. It is an 8-valve motor. Had 120,000 miles on it, and I think this Samurai, according to the title, has somewhere around 250,000 miles on it. It's hard to tell because we don't want to lose that. If you look at the dash, you get 28822, so it could be 128,000, 228,000. You just don't know. For safety, we do have a roll bar attached to the original roll bar. Obviously, it's been used as a storage facility for the last year. The transfer case is running a 4.9 to 1 low range. Both axles are still stock, other than in the differentials they had lockers installed. The rear setup is similar to the front. It has a trick shackle in it that swings out. Along with that, if you notice, there's some additional bracketry up there. These are actually YJ or Jeep Wrangler 87 to 95 front leaf springs. This thing flexes pretty good. I gotta do some further modifications because you can see the shocks in there. I need to bring them out probably about 3 inches to get a little bit more droop out of them. Rear bumper is aftermarket. Don't ask me who made it. I got it on the cheap from a guy that sells Suzuki stuff. Gas tank. Original gas tank skid was rotted out. So I got that one from, again, a guy that does Suzuki stuff locally. The suspension is literally a conglomeration of 2 different vehicles. The fronts are the rears from this vehicle, while the rears are the fronts from another vehicle. Other than that, I did a spring over. So originally, you see the springs here. The springs used to be on that bottom perch. Actually, the springs are going here. Originally, they were there. So the only thing I did was change out the leaves and move them to the top with a new perch on top. I left the old perches there because they're not hurting anything. The transmission, still stock. Transfer case, other than the gears, sorry, still stock. I did end up running spacers because I got the wrong backspaced wheels when I bought them. But I was able to get 4 wheels for under $100 and the tires are 600. It runs a 32 1150 15 tire, and you can see wheel spacers. It does have manual hubs. It works. Oh, the front brake lines, both of these are actually passenger side Suzuki Sidekick brake lines. Shocks are just whatever fit. Shock towers are from a old Ford F-250. Original bump stop, but I cut off all the bracketry that was here and made this, so it's got a decent amount of flex in the upward position. What else do we have here? Drive shaft spacers for the front, so it's still running a stock front drive shaft. Other than that, the front clip was from the prior owner. I don't like it. I want to reconfigure it. It will be reconfigured at some point. Don't know when. Maybe if I do my diesel conversion. We'll see. That's not on the list of priorities. But for the most part, it's small, it's lightweight. Why would we drive a Suzuki Samurai? One, it's different. You see very few of them on the trails nowadays, and the ones you do see, they'll go places Jeeps won't. Not necessarily places they should, but places that others probably shouldn't. They're small, they're compact, they're light, and one of the reasons why we have this, it's inexpensive. All said and done, I think total, including the engine swap, gears, axles, lockers, all the used parts, new parts, I may have $7,000 invested in the vehicle, including the original purchase of the vehicle. But one of the reasons why we're running something that size is because we have something that size. You've seen this in the background, but sorry for the wind, we purchased this with the intended effect of it has a garage. This is a toy hauler. This is a Striker 2916 or ST 2916. Has a single slide on it, and the Samurai fits in the back of it. So when we go to the mountains or when you see us go to the mountains in the future, we will take that with the Samurai in the back. Or we can also put the Can-Am in there. We can't put both, but it's either or. All right, we're going to take her for a little ride on the back part of our property. See what happens. Playing with camera angles today. I also don't have the front end locked out. Or I do have the front end locked out. Front locker's a little tight. So, why a Samurai? Why not a new Jeep? Well, since the end of the TJ run in 2006, electronics has been all the rage. Well, because of the electronics, I have a feeling that they've really ruined the Jeep with the behemoth that it's become. I was always a Jeep fan up until I had my '09 Rubicon, and then I've never been so scared in my life. Had a problem on a hill, trying to avoid trees. Had a problem on a hill, and I couldn't control myself. I had no control whatsoever. Basically, the electronics took over and I was sliding backwards downhill with the tires still moving forwards. It's the most scared I've ever been in a vehicle. Got it. Hey, and the GoPro's still there. I think we're gonna have to try that again with another camera angle. Let's see if I can work my way out of here. But why do I like the Suzuki Samurai? Heated seats? Nope. Cruise control? Nope. Lots of power? Not really. Lots of torque? It's a 1.6 liter. There's not a lot of anything. Power windows? Depends on how powerful your arms are. Air conditioning. It's got a rag top. So, if it doesn't have all that stuff, what is it that I like about it? It's simple. The only additional thing that I put on it that all modern vehicles come with is power steering. This didn't have power steering when I bought it. It has been upgraded. Other than that, there's really nothing that this has that isn't necessary. It's got four-wheel drive, it's got a transfer case, it's got high-low range. Outside of that, it's fun to drive. It's compact, lightweight, maneuverable. The Suzuki Samurai is everything a Jeep used to be, but isn't anymore. Sad to say. My ideal vehicle, I would love to have a Mahindra Roxor that is street legal. If Mahindra started making the Roxor so it was legal to drive on the streets, I would most definitely get one. There's no traction control, no electronic doodads doing things that you don't know what they're doing, no lane departure warnings. Just plain and simple, has an engine, a transmission, and 4 wheels. Nice to be doing about 1500 RPMs, and the speedometer isn't even reading. All right. E-brake helps. Did it again. I think we need to do that one more time for the camera, don't you? That's a little better. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you don't know, we are going to be starting a new series within this within our channel. We're going to be calling it Off the Homestead. This is leading up to the first video. So we're not, what's the word I'm looking for? This is not going to be a regular thing. This is going to be when we go out and do stuff that we don't normally do. Stuff we go out and do for fun. So it might be fishing, might be hunting, maybe off-roading, maybe wheeling. You just never know. You'll have to tune in, and we're going to do it in episodes. Yeah, and this is exciting. There we go. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.